Hi, Ron. Lovely to meet up with you at the range and do a little bit of work on your swing. Just a quick recap on the key points that we covered related to the path the hands take during the backswing. We're not too worried about the club. The club is attached, obviously, into the hands. Whatever the hands do and whatever the arms do will start to affect the way the club moves during the backswing. So, had a little discussion about what you were trying to do. Obviously, it wasn't quite working out for you. So just a little look at what was happening. You were trying to prevent the club rolling too much on the inside. You were keeping the arms well out in front of the body. But you can see there the hands and the arms, the hand path is off the plane very, very quickly. Remember the planes we talked about, we're establishing a plane at address, which is sort of the shafts through the hands. And then as the swing progresses, this plane will start to shift gradually to a more upright plane throughout the time and space of the backswing. What we see here is a dramatic lift of the hands. So everything working upwards very early. Hands going away from you very quickly. Lifted off the plane, and you can see as you do that, as the hands go out, the club comes in, and midway back we've got a severely sort of twisted shaft. Nowhere near the hands are nowhere near the plane line, the club isn't setting in the appropriate manner, etc., etc., and that makes the whole thing very chaotic. You do a pretty good job of putting the club where you need it to be in the downswing. The problem is when we're making that much compensation, it's very difficult to coordinate and nigh impossible to repeat over and over again. So we discussed the key difference here between you and an elite player is that we're looking at an arm that's angled outwards when the left arm's parallel with the ground, and with the better players in the world we see it angled inwards. The only guy who doesn't really demonstrate that would be Jim Furyk. But we discussed that the first move he makes during the downswing is pulling the arms in, putting them back on that circle. Quite a sophisticated move, not necessarily the easiest move to replicate over and over again for the club golfer. So what we've done is spent a little bit of time with a club placed to the side of the shoulder, just asking you to keep the arms beneath that shaft during the backswing to give you an overall feel. Once we did that, we changed the picture, and what we noticed was that the left arm was angled inwards. Anywhere between, we looked at the images of the good players, the major winners from years gone by and the current crop, and we saw that the left arm was angled in anywhere between 20 and 40 degrees. So what we've done here on the mat is we're trying to hit the ball down the line. In order to hit the ball down the line, we have to swing the club on an arc. That arc is on a tilted angle, and when viewed from above, the position of the left arm halfway back would be mirroring this shaft here. So we've put some shafts on the ground, and I suggest when you practice you try and emulate that just to give you a good visual. The key now is to get the left arm to match up with the shaft when it's parallel with the ground. You can see that the hands don't work up as quick. Now we need to become better at doing this. The move needs to become more incremental, but you can see that the hands don't, even though they do elevate a little bit too fast in the ideal world, not to the same degree. We're now looking at a left arm that is angled inwards as it gets parallel with the ground, rather than outwards as we saw at the start. The hands have come in more, and yet the club has stayed on plane in an appropriate manner. So if we look at those two swings, get rid of all the lines, and we look at those two positions midway back, this is what we're trying to create. Rather than the body turning and the arms lifting like we see on the left, we're trying to get the arms and the body to work together to trace the arc, to make the overall movement much more efficient for you. The better you get at doing that, you're going to start to see other things change. I'd suggest getting together in about 4 to 6 weeks' time, just having a little look at how the swing's changed, giving you a little bit more understanding of what you actually need to do during the golf swing, and watch the swing progress from there. Good luck with it and well done.